job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. You're still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. You burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you when the world was brought you down to your knees. And I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too.
Hi, everyone watching at home. My name is Greg. I am a friend of Theater 444, and tonight we are here to learn more about their upcoming production of In Pieces. We're joined by members of the cast and production team to find out what on earth is this show about and why should we go see it. But first, let me introduce you to the artistic director of Theater 444, Pam Raposa. Pam, can you tell us a little bit about Theater 444 and why did you select In Pieces for production this season?
Sure. Well, if you don't know us, this is our 9th season, which is mind-blowing to me. We kind of started, actually, Michael and Nick were both in my very first show. We did Spring Awakening back in 2016 as our very first production, and we kind of got off and running after that. We've been going for 9 years. We try to do things that are kind of on the edge a little bit, unique works, things you haven't seen before, or things you have seen and love, but maybe you haven't seen it that way before. We like to change it up and shake things up a little bit. So that's a little bit about who we are. I always love to start by thanking our patrons because we are a small company in a small town and believe strongly that the arts is really important. And at a time, especially in our country when the arts are being devalued, it's really, really important for us to do this work. And so we can't do that without the support of our patrons. And this year, our patrons went bananas on us, and we love them. They really supported us this year. And it's tough to do things that people don't know the name of and don't know what it is. So this really helps with all of our costs. And of course, just like your groceries, everything's up, even our costumes and our props and our set, everything, it costs more. So we thank them so much for being part of our family. In Pieces was a little show I found actually on TikTok, of all places, and fell in love with the music. And I think I was talking to Alex, and I said, Alex, you got to listen to this. And he's like, I know it. It's so good. And he and I had a conversation, and Alex is my choreographer. He choreographed the show, and we're super excited because it's brand new. I mean, it's not brand new, it's been around, but it hasn't been produced. So what we have is really a first draft. I wrote to the author and talked to him briefly about producing this, and he said, sure, go for it. We have a first draft. He's in the process now of writing another draft of it, and they've done some previews in New York, and I think they're trying to get it, up in town in New York. So we're praying that happens for them. This music's really great. I don't know, Alex, do you want to say anything else about In Pieces?
Sure, Pam. I've actually been singing this music since I was in college. I think it just started as standalone songs that I found really beautiful. And then I learned that Joey weaved it into this whole song cycle. That really is something special about the stories in our lives and the people that we meet and how they shape us into who we're meant to be down the road, and how each of them leaves a piece of themselves within us. And I think that it's a pretty universal story of love and friendship, and that's why I loved it, and I loved singing the songs because they made me feel things, things that felt really familiar. And we find that in every song within the show, and I think that's what really makes it special is the music, because it is just music. So, yeah.
Pam, before we get into chatting with any of the cast members here, do you have a video you could share with us from rehearsal, or
I
give us
always,
some-
I always have videos, and everybody's always like, "Oh no, what is she going to show?" I always have videos, but this cast is so dynamic and so talented. You guys, I can't even tell you. This is some hard music to rehearse because it really requires a full band, and we don't have a full band at rehearsal. So it's challenging to rehearse that way. But we had a band this past Friday night, and it was so fun to like sing with the band a little bit. And so I'm gonna throw up a quick one. Marley's she's gonna shrink. You're gonna shrink. Oh, don't! It's great. I'm gonna show Marley. They are outrageously good. Let me find it here with the band. Yay!
Yeah. Marley, let's start with you. I don't know you. I haven't met you yet. You're new to
Hi.
Theater 444. How did you find us?
I know a lot of people who have worked with Theater 444, and I actually worked with them on the Vagina Monologues back in 2020.
Oh, you did. I missed that one.
It was a fun one for sure. But
now you're back for a musical.
Yes, which
Cool.
is great. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Can you tell us about who you're playing and how that fits into the puzzle of the show?
Okay, I'm playing Alex, and they are a sort of overly easily excited, kind of naive, like jumps into relationships sort of person, like heart over head sort of person, kind of facing the accumulation of that pattern and like finally breaking it down and confronting it by the end of the show.
You sound like the advice from my therapist. Just kidding. I'm on the market. Thanks, Mary, for sharing. I can't wait
Okay.
to see I can't wait to see what you do. And you sound
Oh
great.
yeah.
Marley, where are you from?
Originally Connecticut, but I've been in the Seneca Falls area for a good few years now.
Cool. Thank you so much for going first. That was cruel because there are others here who have way more experience doing this
Yeah.
live streaming. So I'm going to pick on Damon now. Thank you so
Great.
much. Damon,
Hey, Greg. Good to see you
hey
again.
pal. Damon, who are you playing and how does that fit into In Pieces?
I'm playing the character of Austin, and he's kind of just more like the shy, I guess. I kind of want to say like sweetheart of the show a little bit. And he has kind of like problems, kind of like running through his emotions with a certain person that he has a lot of interest and feelings for and with in the show. And so it's really interesting in the show is there's no dialogue. And it's all music. So it's been really interesting exploring that through the music. And sometimes, I'm not even singing on stage, but I'm exploring the character on stage as well. So I've enjoyed that. I think that's as much as I'm going to give you right now, Greg.
Okay. There are things that we can't know beforehand. Is that
Sure.
right?
Yeah. Kind of. Everybody will have their own experience with the show, but it will be a very pleasant experience. I can say that it's a very well put together song and beautiful music.
Cool. Thanks, Damon.
No,
Yeah.
Greg, don't be confused by the microphone that Marley was using. We were just setting that up for the band that night, but this isn't, it's not a concert. They're not going to come out and stand and sing. It's really a story that you have to follow. So each of these characters are intertwined in lots of ways. So
I know what I've noticed on social media and when we chatted earlier, Pam, is that you talked about how this is sort of like being inside of a music video. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. We one of the pieces that we're layering into it is also video. So adding that imagery, it feels very much like a music video. So we're kind of adding some imagery in as well that's going to kind of create that and give you a little bit more perspective of what's happening on stage and why it's happening. And we all love music. Music is so powerful when it comes to our emotions. So this is a good example of that, using the music to really create emotion. We don't have any dialogue to work with. So we're using everything we got, everything else we've got.
Yeah, that does sound different.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's jump to Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hey, Greg.
It's been a
Good to
minute.
see you.
Nick, who are you? What is your role in Pieces?
So my role is Hunter. That way. Okay. Yep. And he is a character who has a little bit of growing up to do. He's still kind of figuring himself out and figuring out what it means to be in a relationship. So he's one of those people that I think we all know. Some of us may feel called out a little bit, who end up in those kind of toxic relationships where we sort of yo-yo back and forth with this person. One day they're together, the next day they're not, right? But they can't seem to quit each other. So that's who Hunter is. And the show, I think one thing we're kind of hinting about here is that it's not a traditional storyline. There are all these great little vignettes which sort of dovetail with each other and parallel each other, and the characters overlap and connect. And we just sort of take little snapshots of their lives at different moments and then sort of fast forward a little bit and see, how are they doing years later? Hunter's not doing so well.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's fun. Some of them are funny, some of them are sad, some of them just really make you think about the people who have touched your life in the past and made you who you are today.
I'm running from my cat. One moment.
You and the cat, always with the cat.
That's what happens when you name your cat after a Xanadu character. Okay, I'm good now. Lauren, were you also in the Vagina Monologues? Because I don't think I've met you yet either.
No, this is actually my first show with Theater 444.
Welcome. Congrats.
Thank you.
Lauren, where do you come from? And can you tell us about your involvement in the show?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Rochester, born and raised. Still live there. So Geneva's a little bit of a hike, but it's okay. So I play Sam, and I kind of play opposite of Nick, who plays Hunter. So basically, we're kind of going through their journey throughout the whole show, and how they kind of interact with the other characters and each other, and just how their relationship develops over time. And I can't really phrase it because Nick put it in the best way, very eloquently. But yeah, just kind of those little vignettes is a really good word, I think, to use for that.
Lauren, how did you discover Theater 444?
So I actually work with Alex, and we work together. And so I came and saw the show that he was in previously with Damon, and then he was like, maybe you should come audition. So I was like, sure, why not? And then
Cool.
Here we are.
Great. I'm glad you're making the drive.
Yes. We have a fun time in the car.
Perfect. Road trip buddy.
Exactly.
Thanks, Lauren. Pam, before we meet our last couple, do you have another video or some photos you want to share?
I can throw some up while you're talking. I also wanted to say that we have a couple of cast members that aren't here. We're starting to fight off the sickness. So we have a couple of sick folks. So we're hoping they're going to get well soon and not
Does
share.
that include Alana?
Yes, Alana Overstreet Gibson and Lily Flume are both
Oh,
in.
and Lily.
Yeah, as well.
You want us to chat while you put up pictures?
Oh, you want me to throw another video up? Let me see.
Oh,
What
yeah.
else? What else do I have here?
I'm ready.
Oh, this is perfect.
It's great, cool. It's fine, cool. It's wonderful, it's cool. It's great, cool. Having love that everyone wanted. Great, cool to be so unbound. But sometimes I feel like I was such a fool. But it all turned out great. Right? Cool.
Very nice. That is perfect because we have to talk to Michael and Alex.
Yeah.
So, Michael, Pam mentioned earlier, one of the OGs, really, and I'm not talking about Olive Garden, although I could crush Olive Garden right now.
I would eat all the breadsticks.
Oh, Michael, you're back. Can you tell us
Yes.
about what brings you back?
It was kind of similar as the first experience when I ended up auditioning for Spring Awakening. Is I didn't know I needed it, and I needed it, and she reached out to me, and my schedule was starting to open up for the first time in a couple of years to the point where I could take something like this on, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. Let's do it, and it ended up working out really well.
Cool. That's great. I
Yeah.
feel like I know you, but I'm not positive we've ever actually met in person.
Same. I
But
feel the
if we-
same.
Okay, great. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but you're also out of state permanently
Oh.
right now, or was that just for school?
So originally from here, moved out of state to Maryland, and then decided to come back here for chiropractic school. So here for school, and then as soon as I graduate, I'll go back to Maryland.
Cool. Wow.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
What is your role like in Pieces?
So I play the character Gray, and Gray is troubled, the kind of classic, scared of himself, of his feelings, his emotions, internally homophobic. You know, he's terrified of what other people will think of him if he, you know, embraces who he is. Um, and it was, I'm glad I got it. It was the role I really wanted because I had a lot of that growing up, right? I had my own internal fears of you know, embracing myself and expressing myself, and you know, it took a long time to really truly open up to myself and to the people around me about who I am, be comfortable with who I am, so I could see myself in Gray. But he has a journey. He struggles a bit, and he comes full circle. He gets himself there eventually, but
Good.
it's a rough ride.
Well, thank you for sharing all of that. Last but not least, Alex, we heard from you a little bit as choreographer, but you are on stage also, right? Oh, of course, we just heard you sing.
No, I'm just filling in for someone.
Done it before. What is your character like?
I play Charlie, and honestly, I feel like out of the show, just like a really fully realized character. He's a hopeless romantic. He's a nerd. I like to call him like nerd, but kind of hot. But he's a hopeless romantic, and he really does believe in, I don't know, love at first sight. And it's evident in the music that I get to sing that Charlie is just a really big believer in love.
I feel like you took all of this from my Tinder profile.
I'll write it down so you can put it there. But it's a very poignant story about how you'll never forget your first, and how that one person that took your breath away for the first time ever in your life will always have a major impact on the rest of your love life. Maybe you look for them in other people. Maybe you come back to them. But I think it's a really relatable story when it comes to love. And it's represented well in Charlie's story, just a hopeless romantic that really does believe in love. He's very confident in himself and his abilities. And I think all he just wants to have is love.
Cool. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, you're welcome, Gregory.
Pam, where can people buy tickets for this? It's one weekend, correct?
It's just one weekend, but we do have 5 shows. So yeah, so grab some tickets because it's going to be really interesting and fun and different, right? So tickets are now available at www.theater444.com, theater with an R-E. Going to change the world's thinking on the word theater. And they're easy to grab online. I'm sure there will be some at the door as well. They're more expensive at the door. So if you want to save a few bucks, it's best to get them early. Also, we are really hoping to have a lot of folks there. So it's best to grab tickets now. All of these characters, I think, are present in your life in some way. Either you'll connect with something, one of them, they're all a different version of types of different relationships that we have had, or relationship baggage that we have, one or the other, or both. And so I think everybody will find someone to connect with in this show. It really does speak to everybody, their experiences in meeting people and falling in love. Lily's character is one that just loves to fall in love. Like, she just falls in love super easily and just wants to be in love. And actually Alana's character is like that too, I think. She falls in love right at the beginning of the show and kind of stays there. But then as she ages and gets older, she realizes that was just the first person. And that's the person that kind of shapes the direction that you go in. And we talk about the fork in the road a lot. And you've got to choose, you got to go down a path. And so, and that's going to decide which direction you're going in your life. So it's a pretty neat little show. especially because when you think about all that we've said tonight about it, all of that is done in song. There's no words. So it's super unique. The music is really, really lovely. I don't know. I just really hope people come. I know that it's not something a lot of people have heard of before, but we always just hope that you'll trust that you're going to come and get something really awesome and different from us.
Is this a bring your kids? Is this a date night? Is this a night with the girlfriends? Is this a boys and beers night? What kind of night is this?
All of that. Boys and beers, girls night, date night, right? Yeah, I mean, there's all of that's there. There's nothing bad in it for kids. If you've got, mature kids that want to hear about love, then sure, there's nothing terrible there. But yeah, I think you can bring anybody, will enjoy it. Even just the music itself is just really fun. So, and there's lots of dancing too, which we haven't really talked about, which has been really challenging, at least hard for me to let go of. Like I usually choreograph. And so I've trusted Alex to do it. He did a great job. There's just so much great stuff in there. Actually, I think I have a video. Oh gosh.
Know until you take a step, maybe a leap, dive into emotion, no matter how deep. Look at all the places you go. You never know. You never know until you make a choice. Whichever way, one little moment can change your day. Welcome to a new kind of show. Oh, you never know. Every high, every low, even so. You never know. Oh, you never know.
Just a little something there. So the style's there, it's very different than what we're used to doing. It's not traditional musical theater. You're not going to get the Music Man on this one. So
Maybe if somebody is not necessarily a fan of musical theater, there might be something here that is enticing or enjoyable for you. Or if you are a fan of musical theater, this is just a different way to experience it, right?
Right. And that's really always been our goal, is to just make the theater accessible to everybody. Even if you aren't a fan of traditional musical theater, you're going to see something different from us. So yeah, this is something different for sure.
I feel like in the last half hour, I know so much more about this than I knew before. And this has been really insightful for me. So hopefully anybody who's watching right now or who checks out pieces of this in the future also feels encouraged and excited to buy a ticket and go see it.
Yay. This cast is so great. They're having a blast and working really hard. I mean, this is tough stuff. It's really tough. So I'm super proud of them. And this, I think it's going to be something pretty special and different. So let me show you one more quick clip before we get off of here of the whole cast singing. This is kind of Damon leading, but
worth more than pieces.
Get out of there.
Maybe a dive into emotion, no matter how deep. Look at all the places.
Going nuts on my end here. Okay, there we go.
It wouldn't be theater without a little chaos.
Yeah, of course. There's
Cool.
always drama.
Pam, I know you wanted to share some info about your upcoming auditions.
Yeah, we have, believe it or not, we have auditions coming up in June, the end of June for Big Fish this summer. We're so excited. This is going to be a nice, beautiful way to end our season. All ages. It's going to be a fairly small cast because we're going to be in the black box again, but please come audition if you are thinking about it. Just do it. It's going to be awesome. So that'll be June 22nd, or 23rd. And there'll be information on the website coming where you can sign up for a spot to audition. So, yeah.
Well, cast members, I hope you have a great final few weeks of rehearsal, getting ready. And I hope you have a great audience to enjoy everything you've been working on. And it sounds like this is a pretty unique experience for an audience, and especially because it is an early production of a draft of this, and people in the audience can say, I saw it when, and we don't know where it's going. So
Yeah.
That's cool. It's a cool experience.
Yay.
Yay. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night and come and join us for the show.
Yeah.